Jackson Hole event that happened this morning. Okay, so Jackson Hole is this place in Wyoming, I think. The Fed chair gets there. Everyone hangs on every single word that this guy says. Hey everybody, end of the F1 break. Box, right? It's the end. This is not Monaco, this is Toronto, right? This is the Amsterdam Bridge, everybody. This is the CN Tower, pretty cool. So everybody was hanging on yesterday, the Jackson Hole event that happened this morning, okay? So Jackson Hole is this place in Wyoming, I think. The Fed chair gets there. Everyone hangs on every single word that this guy says. And so what is he going to say? He's going to say exactly what we've been seeing all along. So nothing he said is surprising, but it's just their stance that they will not back down on raising rates. His overarching, he says their only issue right now is not about the job market, it's not about the stock market. He said their only job is to lower inflation down to 2%. This is consistent with what they always said. But you see, a lot of people don't understand what they mean by, it's bright, you guys, sorry, I need my glasses. They said they don't know, there's nothing they can do to affect supply, right? What does that mean? It means they can't turn on a button and make gas. They have no tools to go and make a boat. They have no workers that are there to be able to go do that. All they can do is reduce demand. So how do they reduce demand? They reduce demand by making your mortgage payments so high that you can't afford to live on anything else. So, I mean, that's just how they do it. That's how economics works. And so he referenced Paul Volcker back in the 80s that pushed interest rates to 18, 19%. Now, I don't believe that's going to happen, that they're going to go to 18, 19%. Oh boy. I wanted to be able to look at you guys in the eye. It's just too bright. I don't believe that it's going to go up to that high of a percent. It's not going to. But he also is putting a lot of blame. This is what I really, really was pissed off by. He says, well, worldwide, including Canada, there is a phenomenon of inflation. Listen, assholes, you guys created the problem. Did you guys see that meme of him just turning out money, printing money like crazy, 120 billion a month? A phenomenon. We don't know how that happened. Okay, that's like you going to your kid that has a big slap mark on his face because you hit him, and then going, I don't know how that happened, but here's a cold cloth. Like, you're the one that hit me. So they're like, it's a phenomenon. I have no idea how inflation happened like this. What a joke. Okay, so the people who are smart, we actually know what is happening, right? We know how it happened, and we know what they're going to continue to do. So he says that there was historical precedent, that the history strongly shows that we cannot back off rates fast. It has to be a long period of time, higher rates for longer amounts of time. So what does that mean for your mortgage? Okay, your mortgage is going to get even more expensive, and it's going to stay more expensive. He referred to in the last meeting of an oversized rate hike coming up, and several more. What did he also reference? He also said that, of course, the Fed said maybe 2.5% to around 2.5% Fed rate. So they're not going to raise it much more. And he says, listen, we have to go above that because there's more inflation than that. They won't stop until it gets 2%. So, of course, they're going to try to continue to manipulate the CPI to bring the CPI down, but that's artificially, that's not real life. That's why I always tell you, look at real inflation, not consumer price inflation, not their core inflation. Actually go look for it yourself. So what does that mean? If interest rates continue to go up, he actually said, what does that mean if we keep raising rates? He said that he's going to continue his restrictive policy. What does restrictive policy mean? Higher interest rates. He'll continue the higher interest rates, and he knows it's going to bring huge amounts of pain to business owners and to people, homeowners, and individual families. He knows that will happen, but he said, this is the price we must pay. Did you hear that? This is the price we can pay, and you can go look at the transcript and go watch the video live. We're going to do another video of that later this afternoon on YouTube. So this is the price that you pay for getting all of the free checks that we got in 2020. So, you know, the best thing we could have done is actually not gotten any checks to companies or people. So that's the thing, is short-term gain for long-term pain, because this inflation is going to be here forever. But he also says in it, who gets hurt the most from this high inflation? He says the poorer families are the ones that cannot afford it at all. So true. So who does that mean makes all the money? Homeowners, very wealthy people, all the money flows to the top. It's the funny thing with economics, it's kind of tough, is in the 80s we had this trickle-down economics where they would give all the money to wealthy business owners and say, keep building businesses. And they said, well, the rich just got richer. So then they tried all of these things where we're just going to give these checks to all kinds of different people, individuals. But guess what? They go and spend it in the companies, and it still trickles up to the top. Doesn't go much place. Here is some events that are happening outside. Kind of interesting. And there's these art installations that are down by the water. I kind of thought it looked like Michael Jackson tie there, but it isn't. So we kind of have to think about this, you guys. This is what we've been saying all along, and there's a couple takeaways that you have to imagine. This is what I said all the time, is that people want something for free. So they get a huge benefit from yelling from the mountains about something bad is going to happen, and when something bad is going to happen, the reaction happens in the public. So he referred to that in the meeting, and he said, listen, inflation is kind of your fault because you believe that inflation is going to continue. It's going to keep getting higher. So, you know, I resent that, because inflation is happening. Look at this. They're doing some, what is that? Acro or something? But he says he's blaming us, he's blaming people. Because you guys think that inflation is going high, that means things are going to get more expensive, means you're spending more on it now. So, you know, even though that may be a part of the factor, we're talking about a minuscule percentage. We're not talking about prices going up 50%. And so his goal is not to bring the prices back to 2019. His goal is just to stop them from going up where they are today. So rates, the prices that you see today, they're astronomical. Rents, everything else. His goal is just to keep it at that price. Just not to let it go higher, but it will go higher. So where does it leave people? If you're a worker, T4 worker, if you're, that's in Canada, T4, W2 in the US, if you're a worker, you're in big trouble. You're going to, unfortunately, you're going to lose. If you have to get a side gig going right now. If you were a highly leveraged person and you bought home in the past 12 months with 95% mortgage, you're going to be in trouble. So this is where you kind of have to be smart and be able to move. Now, these massive earthquakes of movements is what's going to make or break people. So in the next year and a half, it's going to either break you, could make you lose your house, go bankrupt, or you can make more money than you ever made in your whole life. And this is why I want you to start thinking about this right now, because we are still in the window where homes are still at the price that they were in 2021. Everything that you're reading about these massive crashes, and it's bad, 30%, 35% massive, but we're still at the average of the price of August 2021. You still have the benefit of all of those years of price rises. So you can still sell the items that have gone up super huge amount, get some profit off the table, and invest smartly. We're not at the bottom for the good revenue properties either. So keep your mind open, you guys. I just was filming last night one of my gold and silver courses. Amazing, man. 20 years of work just to boil it down to an hour-and-a-half presentation, man. Best thing I ever did. So I'll let you guys know when we're done that. So just be careful. That's the main thing. This is the Oriole and the Mariposa boats. You can take these over to the island if you want. I haven't been on them for a long time because of COVID, but This is probably the most popular pier in all of Toronto. This is the Queen's Quay Terminal. Restaurants in here. Ironically, I have only been to like 2 of them in here, ever. Maybe I should go more often. Anyway, the harbour front is the best walk in Toronto, by far. And so, I think everyone should try it. I come here often. Anyway, for you guys that come watch, you'll see me on these walkways. If you catch me in the right time, if you do, stop and say hi. Tell me how you're doing. Tell me how you're crushing it. So, what is the takeaway? Nothing surprising in Jackson Hole. Yes, they're going to say rates will keep going up a lot and for a sustained period. I still stand by what I think, that when the news is bad enough, they will revert and start going back. When will the news be bad enough? I don't know. It really that depends how the last part of this year is. So keep your eyes open. Be sharp. Keep watching what's happening and be prepared, because I want to buy homes at 50% off. Now, it's not always the price, right? Because the properties in Muskoka are down 50%, or King City down 50%, but it still doesn't make a sense from my style of investing, where I want guaranteed money forever. So, lots to think about, you guys. Anyway, appreciate your time. If you guys could just send this to one person that you think that this could help, I really appreciate when you like and subscribe to this. Share it with your friends. Hit that notification bell for me. Really helps out the algorithm. We want to help people. I'm trying to get people to take advantage of this and not get squashed. How does Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, he says he's going to stomp on you like a cockroach. That's what I want to avoid, people from getting smooshed. So be careful. Be very, very careful as we leave. Look at this nice park. Ships all over here. And this red property here, this red property sells beaver tails. Went on a date there with my wife. Long time ago. But that building's been around for like 100 years. It was like a commissioner building or something. Like a harbor master was there or something like that. Now they sell hats and beaver tails. All right, you guys. Well, I love you. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for spending some time with me, walking and talking, sharing my thoughts. And if you have thoughts on this, I want to know what you think too. Leave your comments below. Appreciate it. Have a great day.